Hey guys, I'm Hunter with Nelson Insurance. 20 years old. We'll walk you through how I started insurance agency at 18 years old. I'll kind of walk through what my experience looked like, what I recommend, how you get started, all type of stuff. Just keep it brief and simple. Obviously, you're gonna start off any leads. So went out, hired a couple buddies from high school, went door knocked on the rich neighborhoods of South Dakota here. Uh, yeah, so real quick, I'm with Nelson Insurance Agency here in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. So went door knocked all the rich homes, which in South Dakota is like anywhere from 800,000 to 1.5 million. Door knocked like crazy. Got 300 leads over the summer with me and my buddies. I'd quote them, call them back the next day, and then just keep a stack of papers and with all these lead informations on them, and calls guys nonstop. Close ratio sucked, but that's how I got my leads. Started working on that stuff. Started just cold calling, door knocking. For the first 6 months, absolutely hustling. Keep the doors open, make some money. Then start looking into marketing, talk to some people on well, obviously my buddies are in college, I'm around college age, so I talk to people who are doing marketing for a study or for their degree. Learn about SEO, learn about Google Ads, learn about all that type of stuff, getting online there because once again, I didn't even know about any of this stuff. So once I figured out about Google Ads and working on SEO, I didn't have to cold call after the first probably 9 months. I had so many leads coming in with Google Ads, spent about $1,000 a month there. Probably get 3, 4 phone calls a day looking for quotes. Started working on that type of stuff. Um, I mean, yeah, I get down to the nitty gritty, but it was just me for a bit. Probably about until a year and 2 months into it, I hired my first employee. Hired her from another insurance agency. She started doing service. I started selling. Just started cranking out business that way. Not too long after that, brought another agent in November, and now rolling up. So this is all in 2022. I was 18 years old. Now we're rolling up into 24. I have got 3 W-2 employees. I got 3 VAs, and we completely switch it up to trucking contractors because in the independent world, um, learned that commercial's the way to go with that stuff. Got into trucking contractors. My father was a trucker for a little bit. I was a contractor throughout high school, or I worked on a concrete crew. Always love that stuff. I own a couple rentals, so whatever. Those are the two things I had passion for and got in that stuff. So I mean, really, with that, my weekends were spent just studying the market, learning what carriers' appetites were, looking at other insurance agency websites, found the National Alliance, started seeing the studies that they had out there, and learned that 80% of commercial was done through independent agents and 80% of personal lines were done through captive. I mean, is that going to be completely accurate? Not remotely close, but I mean, there's some truth to that, right? So, start doing that. When I first started off, I was writing anywhere from 30 to 50,000 a month for my first year, and then now that we switch up into contractors and trucking, I average about 150,000 a month in new written premium, and then the agent I hired in November is well, it started off probably about 30, 40,000 a month. Now he's average about 50, 60. I'm sure he gets 100,000 before the end of the year here. Just hired another agent. He's got 17 years of experience. He's been cranking out trucking business forever, getting him on board to get all that type of stuff. So I mean, that's kind of just brief overline of, or outline of how I got or what the 2 years looked like. Extremely brief. Now I'm at the point where I'm purchasing our agency, purchasing a $2.7 million book, all trucking. I have got a $2.7 million book myself. About 2/3 of it's personal lines, just from starting out. Trucking contractors are starting to get up there now. That's the majority of the new business we're writing. One thing I would say, if you guys are starting your own agency, so I'll kind of get into this now. If you guys are starting your own agency, my biggest thing was obviously SEO, bringing in leads, bringing in hot leads, obviously the way to go, and then cold calling for your stuff that you really want, for like trucking and contractors. That stuff's tough to bring in. It's expensive to bring in. Personal lines, 100% just work on SEO outside stuff. Don't even, you're not going to cold call for that stuff. But obviously that's very important no matter what kind of line of business you're doing. And but there's just a little more cold calling. So I have Meet Leo for cold calling. 100% recommend that stuff. So that's how I brought in leads. 100% my biggest mistake was my hiring process and my process procedures. Get a training portal. I just switched to Gravity Search to my website. They got a whole training portal built out. I got to go in there and edit it now here for the next probably month or so. But it took me a couple months to build a nice training portal. That's been 100% the main thing. I mean, a hired employee. I mean, just to give you guys a quick example of why this is needed. When I had my first employee, I'd written 65,000 the month prior. When I brought her on, I wrote 29,000, and then it was 35,000, and then it was 40,000. So it took me 3 months to recover because there was that much training in between. So 100% have a training portal, process procedures. So if employees are missing stuff, if they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing, hey, we got this written down. We got an employee handbook. You agreed to this. These are the repercussions. That was a big mistake on my part. I would train people. They would just think they get off too easy. And I fired a lot of people for my front desk person, which was partly just hiring the wrong people. I mean, so that's kind of one thing there. Streamlining your process, have an automation set up. I use agencies Zoom, have automation set up for non-pays, for cancellations, for binding, for absolutely everything. Um, to get into the systems I use, I mean, obviously contractors and trucking are pretty cert heavy, lots of stuff on those lines. So I'm switching to Now Search, my agency management system. Lost One Pro has been a lifesaver. If you're trucking, I can go find their policy number on Safer, shoot them over a Lost Run request through Lost One Pro. Since the carrier does everything for me, all I gotta do is sign, just say, hey, heads up, you're gonna sign this thing, get it over to me. And I get job forms with Gravity Certs. You got new certificate or you got a new um, form intake deals or intake forms. So I mean that will help out there. But having streamlining that process, the quote to bind as much as possible. The other big thing that has really been a huge help to me is finding other agents to just talk to. I don't look at it as any other agent's competition. I've got a couple agents I talk to weekly and just bounce ideas off those guys. I can help them out with deals. They help me out with deals. Um, that has been the biggest thing without a doubt. My first agent I ever talked to about this stuff and went to a IAOA of or not IAOA. I went to IIASD event, which is like part of the Big I for the South Dakota. Found an agent there, part of the largest insurance agency in South Dakota. He was their cyber guy, been insurance for a couple of years, and the dude was just a freak. I mean, he was reading policies, it was just all sorts of stuff that I just never even thought of, and would never even think to really get that deep into this. He had multiple certificates, read policies, which I mean, I obviously do now, and everybody should be doing. But just the amount of stuff he knew was just mind blowing me. So he had kind of taught me on process procedures, how he wins deals, not being a car salesman, but being there to educate your client and helping those guys out. So that's definitely been huge. And I mean, really, yeah, yeah. I mean, right now, once the book purchase is completed, which will be here in about 2 weeks, we'll be a $5.4 million agency with the three agents. I plan on writing about 400,000 a month. Hoping to begin that here in about 3 months. Currently, last month we wrote 310,000. And then this month we're kind of trailing for about 150. So I mean, a little bit all over the place when you're dealing with big policies. Probably because I wrote a $270,000 policy last month for one trucking deal. That I mean, that took an insane amount of time. That took me 3 months to put together, and it was my whole month. I didn't probably work on other deals. But yeah, I mean, 18 started out the deal. You when you're starting out, you keep your expenses extremely low. You grind out as much business as you can. I all my friends are in college. They're back for the summers. They're back for spring break. I've missed a lot of stuff. Um, I mean, I'm working 78 hours a week right now. I mean, I'm recording this thing at 2:40 or 12:40 at night. I love what I do. It's You just got to work harder than everybody else. I'm not going to sit here and spit BS. Work harder and be that guy. But I love what I do, and I got to. I mean, I'm just busy to do the extra stuff and get ahead, to record these YouTube videos, to work my website, to do the training portals. I got to work night. You don't have to. You could probably find a couple hours a week to do it, but I want to get ahead of it. I want to beat everybody else to it. So work long hours. I am just a super competitive person. Um, so I mean, that's kind of the deal. Just why I do what I do. I love building relationships, all that type of stuff. But if you're just starting out, getting carriers, all that type of stuff. Obviously, keep your expenses as low as possible. Don't be afraid to run out your house or go. I mean, 100%, I would recommend go work for another insurance agency before you get into it like I did. This was just kind of a weird deal. I don't think anybody hardly does this. Happen into an open your own insurance agency cold. But go work for another insurance agency, get some money built up, get some of that stuff rolling, and then don't get tied up in a cluster. But you can join some groups here or an aggregator. Personally, that's what I recommend. I'm part of a couple aggregators right now, actually, but they're real loose. Like I'm part of the agency collective. Pay $200 a month to be part of them. I have no commitments to any of my carriers, but I get CNA, the Hartford, Guard. They have multiple personal lines carriers over there. They're coming out like Geico with all sorts of stuff where you can go into that stuff, and they're just going to take 25% of your bonus. No, 100% commission's yours. I don't believe there's any exit fees. Probably should be knowing that, but I'm almost certain there's not. And then yeah, 100% commission, 100% on your book. So I'm part of like that. You can join SEMC, which is a commercial rater. They'll give you access to a couple carriers like Cover Whale, American Trust, or M Trust, Great Western, stuff like that. You can get good carrier options from a lot of these brokerages. Just hop into that stuff and then start working on to your gold tier carriers. Don't fill up with BS. Like I'm in South Dakota. I get a Bristol West and Foremost appointment. Bristol West and Foremost are great in some states. South Dakota, they absolutely just do not kill it here. They're not competitive, whatever. I have one policy run through Foremost. I have zero policy run through Bristol West. Why I still have them, I don't know. But broad income appointments, I really don't need. It's more relationships to keep part of. Also, that more relationships you got to manage, more commitments you got to meet. Go find your brokers and your aggregators. That'd be very lenient. Like just quick example, you can go get a BOP Acuity product through Appalachian. Go find those guys, find your appetite, and then build your careers around that and work towards the good ones. And the good ones commit all your business. Do not undersell yourself unless you know you can't write jack with them. But go find yourself a auto owners and Acuity. If you're in trucking, try to build you up to a Great West or Acuity. Start off with your Progressive and Geico and your Coverwell and Berkshire. Those are four options. You can build up to your bigger guys. There's a couple other carriers that are opening up. I just brought on one where I'll be the 19th agent in the nation to have them. So I just brought on one trucking company there that was very exclusive. I said, hey, I'm going to commit this amount of business to you. It's going to be a lot of work to be grinding away, but if I can meet my commitment goal, um, I'll be having an extreme advantage over else because I get one of 19 in the nation as of right now. I'm sure they're going to bring in other carriers or other agencies, but you know, that's kind of the deal. I mean, this is kind of a scattered video, kind of just laid it all out for you. What I did, how I did it. I'm sure there's a lot of subjects I did not cover. And I'm sure a lot of you, I'm sure almost everybody watching is older than I am. So if you guys got questions or if you guys like, I'm 20, I don't know half of it, whatever. I'm just talking about opening up my business when I was younger. So if you guys do have questions, I just wanted to give some information out there to help you guys out in any way I can. I mean, that's really what this YouTube channel is for. So for the third time, if you guys got questions, my email is below. You guys can reach me at the website. I love to talk to anybody, any other agents, anybody thinking about being an agent, anything on those lines. I love talking to you guys. So reach out. Please like, subscribe, try to get my videos up there a little bit more, so that way more people find out about this just information I'm shooting out there to help you guys. Thanks for watching, and once again, feel free to reach out.